Punk Revolution now. Today I am sick. I did not go to work. You can see my hair looks sick too. And I wanted to review an album that sounds like you are high on magical mushrooms, floating through space, on your way to be sucked into a black hole. Ah! Ah! Don't touch the eye! Waste of Space Orchestra's Syntheosis. So Waste of Space's album, Syntheosis, released April of this year, 2019, a atmospheric sludge metal album with influences of doom metal, psychedelic rock. I personally hear a lot of progressive rock in this album. Progressive metal, progressive rock, King Crimson influences almost. Krautrock influences, space rock influences, avant-garde, progressive metal avant-garde. So, those are the adjectives I describe this album. And honestly, yes, it does sound a lot like you're high on shrooms, floating through space, on your way to be sucked into a black hole, and you're tripping the fuck out, and it's just horrifying and beautiful at the same time. I don't know how else to describe this album, really. It's not an album you can just put on and easily stroll through the park, just walk and listen to. No. It's a little bit more of an intellectual, think while you listen, challenging album that has a lot of building up, slowly grooving, evil but intellectual kind of riffs. And then some heavy bang guitars that are just like, whoa! It's like a fucking roller coaster. And then in the midst of all this avant-garde, psychedelic, weird metal shit going on, then there's just these vocals that are just like, blah, 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 just so fucking evil sounding. And it's just like, wow, this is such a fucking unique mix of sounds and influences. It's so fucking cool. I love this album. It's a really cool album. I loved listening to this album. It's really fucking sick. Another fantastic 2019 release. If you're someone who appreciates mixing influences, experimentation, you don't necessarily need to be someone who likes metal to like this album. If you're someone who appreciates experimental music, you might like this album even if you don't typically like metal. And likewise, if you're just someone who wants doom and gloom metal that's good old-fashioned fuck you in the ass sludge metal, you might not like this album very much. So it's kind of, it might be kind of like a hipster metal album in that sense. Personally, I like it though. But I think it's pretty fucking cool. The only complaint I have that I think some people might have when they listen to this album is, given that it's a album that kind of really like builds and grooves and jams and is just so it's just so, like, atmospheric, and it's about an hour long. That might get a little boring at times for some people. It didn't really bore me, because I thought that, like, there's so much interesting things going on to keep me interested. It kind of, like, kept me going, but after a few listens, I kind of, like, okay, I've heard this before, I've heard this, so it's just, like, got, like, a little teeny tiny bit boring, but, like, overall, it's still, like, a fantastic album that I'm going to listen to again in the future. So, pretty fucking cool album. Go check it out. If anything I said kind of sounds like it might be appealing to you, and even if it doesn't, you should still listen to it, because it might open your mind. This album might blow your mind. Oh, what a fantastic listen. I wish I could listen to this album again for the first time. So one of the more experimental listens I've listened to this year. One of the more unique albums I've listened to this year. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Please do not report me to the YouTube police. So yeah, go check it out. I give this album a 7.53, which is a good rating on the Punk Revolution Now scale. Punk Revolution Now, thanks for listening. Have a fan-freaking-tastic whatever day you're watching this. Mwah!